Hello everyone. Welcome to Career Launcher, and I'm Shashank, and we are going to start with the CAT 2025. And in today's session, we are going to do ratio and proportion and few questions of allocation and replacement in this session. Okay, I'm directly moving on to the question of I'm going to do a few previous year questions. So let's start with the first one. So basically, what does this first question says? Okay, so it says the strength of salt is p% if 100 ml of the solution contains p gram of salt. Okay, so basically the first statement simply defined what is concentration, right? So if 100 ml solution have 10% salt, it means it has 10 grams, uh, 10 grams of salt in it. Okay, now it says that three salt solutions ABC are mixed in proportion 1:2:3. Okay. So let's say solution A has A% salt, solution B has B% salt, and solution C has C% salt. Okay. And they are being mixed in the ratio of 1:2:3, ABC. So let's say the weight of A is 100, the weight of B is 200, and weight of C is 300. That is our first scenario. Okay. What is the second scenario? The second scenario tells us that they are mixed in the ratio of 3:2:1. So A is 300, B is 200, and C is 100. So that's what it says. So basically, there are two scenarios, and we have to work according to both the scenarios, right? So in this, what we are going to do, we are going to calculate in both the scenarios. In the first scenario, this is the first scenario. In the first scenario, what is going to happen? 100 ml solution has A% salt. So what is the quantity of salt? That is A. Okay. 200 ml solution has B% salt. So what is the quantity of salt? That's 2B. Okay. Now let's talk about C. So 300 ml of solution has C% of salt. So what is quantity of salt? That is 3C. So this is the total quantity of salt, and total weight that is given to us as 600. Okay. Now in this 600, total amount of salt is 20%. Means this total salt value should be equal to 120, and that's what question is saying. Okay. Now let's talk about the second one. Okay. So second one says it 300 ml solution has A% salt. So it has the total quantity of salt is 3A. Okay. 200 ml has B% salt. So it has the solution quantity of salt is 2B. And third one has 3C. Third one has C. Okay. Then total weight is 600. And out of this 600, the total strength is 30%. So what is the total quantity of salt we have? That is 180. Okay. So we have two equations and three variables. Now I'm not sure what we are going to do. Now question says a fourth solution D is produced by mixing B and C in the ratio of 2:7. Okay. So basically we have B, we have C, and the quantity of B is 200, quantity of C is 700. So what is the quantity of salt? So that is going to be B% of 200, that is 2B. C% of 700 is 7C. So that is the total quantity of salt. Okay. The strength. So strength means salt is what percent of the total solution. So divide by 900 because total weight is 900. So total quantity of salt divided by total solution into 100. Now that is going to be strength, right? So strength of this new solution D is going to be 2B plus 7C divided by 9. Okay. And the question is talking about the ratio of D and A. Okay. So is to A. So our job is to figure out the value of 2B plus 7C upon 9A. That's what we need to figure out. I have simply written that what is given and what we need to calculate. Then I'm going to think something else. Now everything is in variable, right? Now I don't know what to do. So what I'm going to do in this scenario. So generally what we do, we try to eliminate variables, we try to do try to get the values of variables in terms of numericals. But instead of that, what we are going to do, we are going to eliminate the constant. So multiply this equation by 3, multiply this equation by 2. Okay, so what we are going to get, the first equation is going to be 3a plus 4b plus 9c, and that's equal to 360. Okay, second equation is going to be 6a plus 4b. Okay, here it is going to be 6b, 4b plus 3c, 2c, and that's equal to 360. Now LHS, RHS is 360 over here, RHS is 360 over here. It means this value should be equal to this value. Okay, so I'm just going to equate both the values. So I'm going to get 3a plus 6b plus 9c is equal to 6a plus 4b plus 2c. Okay, so I'm going to take b to this side, a to this side. So I am going b and c to this side. So I am going to get 2b plus 7c, and that's equal to 6a minus 3a, that is 3a. So I can directly place the value over here. So 2b plus 7c is given to us as 3a. So this value directly comes out to be 3a upon 9a. So a gets cancels out, value comes out to be 1:3. So answer of this question is going to be option A. So this is the approach that we are going to follow to solve the question. In these kind of questions, we do not eliminate the variables, we directly get the value of one variable in terms of other variables, and that's how we can solve this question. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. What does it say? Okay, so the score of Amal, Bimal are in the exam. Okay, the score of Amal and Bimal in an exam are in the ratio of 11:14. After the appeal, their score increases by the same amount, and their new score are in the ratio of 47:56. The ratio of Bimal's score to that of his original score. Okay, so what we can do? Okay, so let's say initial score of Amal was 11x, initial score of Bimal was 14x. Okay, their score increase by the same amount, so their score increase with y. Okay, so this is the final score of Amal and Bimal. Now this ratio is given to us as 47:56, and that's what question is saying. Now what question is asking? The ratio of original score of Bimal, so that is 11x upon 47x plus y. Sorry, I made a mistake over here. So it is 14x divided by 56x. Let me eliminate. Let me erase this. So if I talk about initial score of Bimal, so that was 14x. Final score of Bimal was 56x plus y. So my job is to figure out the ratio of Bimal's new score to his original score. So basically, again, I did it wrong. So its new score is 56x plus y divided by 14x. Okay. So, and that's what question is saying, right? Oh, no, sorry. I made too many errors in writing this. This is not like this. Okay, so what is Bimal's new score? That's going to be 14x plus y. And what's his original score? That is 14x. So my job is to figure out this. Okay, now how we are going to do it? Okay, one thing is directly cross multiply. So if I'm going to cross multiply, that is 560 into 11x is going to be 616x plus 56 by y. Okay, 14 sevens are 98. Okay, 56 65 x plus 47y. Okay, so from here I am going to get 9y, and that's equal to, this is going to be 2, this is going to be 4, 42x. So 9y is equal to 42x. So I can say that cancel out. So 14x comes out to be what? 3y. Okay. Now I'm going to place this value over here. So 3y plus y is going to be 4y upon 3y. So y get cancels out. So answer comes out to be 4:3. So directly we can get the answer of these kind of questions. Nothing much, nothing lengthy. Simply we can solve it. Or what is alternate approach? What we can think of? कि कैसे कर सकते हैं इसको? So I am assuming that final score is 47 and 56. Okay. अब बिमल की बात कर रहे हैं, right? So initial score was 11 and was in the ratio of 11 and 14. Okay, so it is 11 and 14. Okay, so is the increment same in both the cases? No, definitely not. Okay, another possibility is 22, 30, 28. So what is the increment we can have? That's 25. What is the increment we can have? 28. Okay, doesn't work. Okay, let's take 33 and 42. Okay, what is the increment we are going to have? That's uh, uh, it is going to be increment of 14. What is the increment we are going to have? That's 14. So it means I can say that initial score was 42, final score was 56. So 42 upon 56 is going to be 56 upon 42 is going to be our answer. That comes out to be 4:3. So we can directly assume the values and we can work according to the values and we can still get the answer instead of going with variables. But if this approach doesn't click you in the exam, then go with this approach, and this approach is perfectly fine. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it says? So it says that a jar contains a mixture of 175 ml water and 700 ml alcohol. Okay. So 175 is water and 700 ml alcohol. So I am looking for water to alcohol ratio. So this is 1, this is 4. I can directly cancel out. So 700 is 175 into 4. Okay. So water to alcohol ratio is 1:4. It means I can say water is 20% of the solution and alcohol is 80% of the solution. Okay. So I have 80% of alcohol initially. Now why I'm not looking for the values over here? Because the final question is talking about the percentage of water. Question is not talking about quantity of water. Question is talking about percentage of water. Now Gopal takes out 10% of the mixture. So when Gopal is taking out 10% of the mixture, it means alcohol and it is substituting by water. Okay. So when he takes out solution, so when he takes out 10% solution, it means alcohol decreases by 10%. But then he is adding water. So alcohol is being decreased by 10%. So alcohol that is left out is 90%. Right? And then he is adding water. So alcohol is not increasing. The process is repeated once again. So that is again going to be 90%. Right? So this is the final percentage of alcohol. So this is going to be 80% into 0.9 into 0.9. So 80 into 0.9 is going to be what? 72 and 72 and it is going 72% into 0.9. So it is going to be 64.8%. So quantity of alcohol is 64.8%. So what is the quantity of water we have? That is 100% minus 64.8% of alcohol. It means the quantity of water is going to be the difference of the two. That's going to be 35.2%. And answer of this question is going to be option C. So this is the approach we are going to take in these kind of questions. Whenever the final value is in percentage, then these values are of no use. I am going to convert these values in the percentage and solve accordingly. Because in the questions of replacement, we can directly solve these questions by using this approach. Or if you do not understand this approach, I'll give you a direct formula. What is the direct formula? That is final quantity. Final quantity of what? Final quantity of what? Of that is not being added, right? So final quantity is equal to initial quantity into 1 minus replaced quantity divide by total quantity power n. Power n means how many times it is happening. Okay, so I can use it for alcohol. So final quantity of alcohol is, initial quantity of alcohol was 80%, so I'll go with 80. Or if you want to go with 700, you can still go by 700. So 80 into 1 minus, replaced is what? 10%. So 10 out of total quantity is 100. How many times it is happening? Twice. Now you can, by using this formula, you can calculate the final quantity of alcohol. Subtracted from 100, you are going to get final quantity of water. So this is the formula that you can use, but you can also solve these kind of questions without using formula, pure logic. Okay. Now let's move to question number 4. Okay. What does it say? Okay. The options are very difficult in this. Okay. Okay. So what does it say? It says that there are two drums, each containing paint A and paint B. So in drum 1, paint A and paint B are in the ratio of 18:7. So paint A is 18 by 25, paint B is 7 by 25. Okay. So 18 by 25 in percentage is going to be 18 by 25 into 100. Right. So it is going to be 72%. It is going to be remaining 28%. Okay. So in drum 1, the percentage of A is 72%. Okay. Now it is being mixed with B. Okay. So in drum 1, it is 72%. In drum B, what is it? It is, I don't know. That's what I need to calculate, right? So the percentage of A is, let's say, X%. Okay. Now it says that these two mixtures are mixed in the ratio of drum 1 and drum 2 in the ratio of 3:4. Final A and B is 13:7. So A is 13 by 20. So I can say 65%. Okay. So final concentration of A that is given to us is 65%. And these are mixed in the ratio of 3:4. Okay. So this value, this difference comes out to be 7. So if 4 is 7, then 1 is 1.75. Okay. Then 3 is going to be 5.25. So this value is greater than 65. So this value should be smaller than 65. So this value comes out to be 59.25%. Okay. So in drum 2, A is 59.25%. So it means B should be 40.75%, because total concentration is always going to be 100% itself. So point A is 59.25, then paint A is 59.25, then paint B should be 40.75, right? So and this is going to be the ratio of paint A to paint B. Now I'm going to cancel out by 25. So it is going to be 25 2s are 50, then 9 2. Sorry, it is going to be 7 5. So this should be 7 and this should be 2. Okay. So 50, 25 2s are 50, then 9 7. So 3. Then it is going to be 22 5. So 2 to 5 is 239. So numerator is going to be 239, and there is only one option that gives me numerator as 239. So answer of this question is going to be 239 is to 1 is to 161. And this is the approach that we can take to solve these kind of questions. This is allegation, the standard. This is a question of very standard allegation, so we can solve allegation like this. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. What does it says? Is it easy? Okay. So we have two kind of liquids. Chemist mix two kinds of liquid 1, liquid 2. The weight of 1 kg, liquid 1 weighs 1 kg and 1 liter of liquid 2. Okay, so 1 liter is 1 kg, or I would say 1000 grams. Okay. And the liquid 2 is 800 grams. So I am mixing 1000 grams and 800 grams. Okay. Now it says the final weight is half the liter. Half the liter is 480. So 1 liter is going to be 960. So I am mixing 1000 I'm mixing 800. What I'm getting? 960. So in which ratio I'm mixing? This is going to be 160. This is going to be 40. So ratio comes out to be 4:1. So liquid 1 and liquid 2 must be added in the ratio of 4:1, right? So what is the percentage of liquid 1? That is 4 out of 5. That is 80%, and that's going to be option D. So this is again a question of allegation. Again, if anyone who has any doubt, doesn't understand any concept, so kindly do let me know in the comment box. I'll respond to you. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it says? Okay, so it says Amla, Beena, and Gauri are investing how much money? Uh, Money in the ratio of 3:4:5. Okay, so Amla is investing 3x, Beena is investing 4x, and Gauri is investing 5x. Okay, the interest is 6%, 5%, 4%. I'm going with 654 only. So what is the so basically instead of x, let's say this is 300x, this is 400x, and this is 500x. Okay, Amla is getting 6% return. So 6% of 300 is going to be 18x. So Amla's interest is 18x. Bimla is getting 5%. 5% of what? 400. So she is getting 20x. Okay. Gauri is getting 4%. 4% of what? 500. So Gauri is also getting 20x. So this is the interest amount of all three, right? Now it says that Beena's interest exceeds Amla's by 250 rupees. It means 20x minus 18x, 2x, and that's equal to 250 rupees. That's what question is giving us, right? Now the question is saying, what is the total interest? So what is the total interest? That is 18x plus 20x plus 20x. That's going to be 58x. So 2x is equal to 250. So 58x means 2x into 29. Sorry, I need to calculate 58x, and 58x can be said as 2x into 29. So that's equal to 250 into 29. So this value comes out to be 7250. And how we can solve it very quickly? We can solve it by 250 into 30 minus 1, right? So 250 into 30 is going to be 7500 minus 250. So that comes out to be 7250, and that's going to be option C. So these kind of questions of ratio, these are free questions in the exam. We can directly solve. If you don't get into too many variables, then these kind of questions can be solved very easily. But if you get into too many variables, then you are going to be very confused. So whenever these kind of values are given, assume it is 6%, 5%, and 4%. If you are going to go with this is 6y%, this is 5y%, this is 4y%, still then you are going to get the answer. But in that case, the solution is going to be lengthier. So never go by those kind of things. I'll start assuming the values, and that is going to help you solve the questions very quickly. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. What does it says? Okay, in an exam, Rama scored 1/12 of the sum of Mohan and Anjali. Okay, so we have three people. We have Ram, we have Mohan, we have Anjali. So Rama's score is R, Mohan's score is M, Anjali's score is A. So question says that Rama's score is going to be 1/12 of M plus A. Okay, that is the first statement. Okay. After the review, each of their scores increased by 6. Okay. So Rama's score is going to be, okay, so I think I made a blunder in this. And why did I made a blunder? So okay, if we have started like this, let's start solving like this only. Okay, so after revision, everyone's score increased by 6. So Rama's score has become R plus 6. Okay, Mohan's score has become M plus 6. Anjali's score has become A plus 6. Okay, Now these values are in the ratio of 11:10:3. It means I can say Anjali's score is A plus 6, and that is equal to 11x. Remember this. The question in this, it is giving the ratio of Anjali, Mohan, and Rama, not Rama, Mohan, and Anjali. Okay. So A can be said as 11x minus 6. Okay. Mohan's score is m plus x, and that is equal to 10x. So I can say Mohan's score is going to be what? 10x minus 6. Okay. Now let's talk about Anjali's score. So that is Rama's score, that is A plus 6. So that is equal to 3x. So from here, Rama's score is going to be what? 3x minus 6. Now what I'm going to do, I'm directly going to place that value over here in the first equation. So 3x minus 6 is equal to 1 by 12 of Mohan and Anjali, that is 21x minus 12. So this I'm going to get 36x minus 72, and that's equal to 21x minus 12. Okay. So this is going to be what? 15x is equal to 60. So x comes out to be 4. Okay. What is the difference between Anjali's score and Rama's score? That is going to be 8x. So 8x is equal to 8 into 4. That's going to be 32. Okay. So this is the approach that we can follow. Now, what else we can think of in this question? Okay. Now, finally, everyone's score increased by same. So it means initial difference must be equal to final difference, right? So Anjali's score finally was 11. Rama's score finally was 3. So the difference of 11 and 3 is going to be 8. So your answer should be a multiple of 8. So this option is rejected as well as this option is rejected. Now you can work on this by using options. So you can directly start with 8x is equal to 24. Okay. So x is 3 and start solving accordingly. Start solving backwards and eventually move to this point. So you can still get the answer. So if this option is rejected, so you have to solve only one option. Solve with 24. If it works out, it's fine. If it does not work out, then in that case the answer is going to be 32 directly. You don't think much. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. So the strength of salt is p% of 100. Okay, so again the same story is given that it is defined that what is p% solution is that in 100 grams it is p% salt. Okay. Now in each of the three vessels A, B, C contains 500 ml of salt solution of the strength 10%. So A has 10%. Okay. B has 22%. And C has 32%. Okay. Now 100 ml of solution A is transferred to vessel B. Okay. So 100 ml of A. So A has 10%. It is added with B. B has 22%. Okay. And the quantity of A is what? 100. Quantity of B is what? 500. So these are being mixed in the ratio of 1:5. Now I need to calculate this value. Okay. Now what is going to happen? So when I am taking out 100 ml from A, the quantity left out in A is 400 ml. Okay. Now if these two values are given, these two ratios are given, now how we are going to calculate the middle value? So the approach for that is take the difference. The difference is 12, right? Break 12 in the ratio of 1:5. So this is going to be 2 and this is going to be 10. So your final concentration is going to be 10 more than 10 or 2 less than 22. So 20%. So in B, the current concentration is 20% and total weight is 600, right? 100 is 500 was already there. 100 was added to B. So B has a weight of 600 and final concentration is 20%. Now, from B, 100 ml is transferred to C. But now B does not have a concentration of 22%. It has a concentration of 20%. So 20% of B is added with 32% of C. Okay. So what is the quantity of B we have? What is the quantity we are adding here? 100. What is the quantity in C we have? That is 500. Okay. So after the replacement, after 100 ml came to B and 100 ml moved from B, so final quantity of B is still 500. Okay. So the difference is 12. The ratio is 1 is to 5. So again, it is going to be 2 and 6, 2 and 10. So final concentration is going to be 30%. Okay. So concentration in C is 30% right now, and the total weight is 600. Okay. Now, finally, 100 ml of C is transferred to A. Okay. So concentration of C is 30%. It is transferred to A. A has a concentration of 10%. Now, what is the quantity that is being added to A? That is 100 ml. What is the quantity A currently have? That is 400, because initially 100 ml is moved from A to B, right? So ratio of this comes out to be 1 is to 4. What is this difference? This difference is 20. So break 20 in the ratio of 1 is to 4. So this value is going to be 4. This value is going to be 16. So basically, final concentration is going to be 4 more than 10 and 16 less than 30. So this is going to be 14%. So answer of this question is going to be option C. This question is actually lengthy one, because you have to use allegation multiple times, because consistently there is being transfer that is happening. So if I am going to, if these kind of questions are going to appear in the exam, I'm going to keep these questions in round 2 or round 3, because even solving these kind of questions in the exam is going to take some time. Even if you are comfortable with allegation, still it is going to take at least 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, because you have to be very careful while reading, otherwise you might get the answer wrong. But is it doable in the exam? Yes. But should you be comfortable with allegation? Yes. If you are not using allegation, this is going to be little lengthier. Now, your roadmap to QA success, we are going to have our next session. That's tomorrow on Wednesday. We are going to talk about geometry. Naveen sir is going to be your mentor, and he's going to cover quadrilateral. And if you see, 107 students have made to FMS, 119 students have gone to IIM Ahmedabad. So with this, if anyone has any doubt, you can ask me a question. Thank you.